glad you mentioned seals and the EWG seal. It sounds like that's one that is pretty cool because it's super comprehensive, hitting on both helping the environment and being safe for your body. I feel like one of the biggest questions that we all have when you see a product is this safe? Is it trustworthy? Is the brand trustworthy? Are there other seals that help you know if something is trustworthy and good to use?
There are. ECOCERT's a pretty common one. And it's got a lot of detractors like anything else. You're never going to find one that everyone loves. Cosmos. So ECOCERT and Cosmos are more international than EWG verified. You'll see them in other countries. They consider themselves international. They are international seals. And so you'll see them more commonly, although the EWG verified is becoming very common, especially within the US, amongst really, really mission forward companies that are eco-friendly and sustainable. That's the one I would, look for, but it's got a very limited, it's a very new seal. But Cosmos and ECOCERT are both international. They're a great start. I actually really like them both. I really like Cosmos. And it's nice to have a seal that's international and you can look for in more products. So there's that. And ultimately you just want to know your companies. What companies do you align with, their missions, values? Do they take away, every petrochemical, or do they keep some safe petrochemicals in? I'm okay. I don't think it has to be, as sort of saying before about the F. There are some that are pretty benign. A petrochemical is carcinogenic, but there are some synthetic chemicals, let's say, that are safe. So, you really have to just know your product and your values and your brands. So if you can align with brands that you love and trust, it's easier. Then you don't have to scrutinize every single ingredient. I still think it's a good time to flip the box every once in a while.
Yeah.
On a new product. But yeah, so I really think it's super important to find brands you love and stick with them. And then obviously exploring new brands, but just find some good brands that you can go to. And it's nice to have a beauty brand, a lifestyle brand, a baby brand, and then, start venturing out and adding more. Weleda is a great lifestyle brand.
Okay. And that's a pretty big name. I feel like you can find kind of everywhere.
Right. It's a huge brand. They're international. They're in Target. They're in Whole Foods. At least they used to be in Whole Foods. I think they still are. But back to that, Whole Foods has, standards as well. And that's not just a section, that's anything in their store. Whereas Target will have a section of eco. And that's also a good place to start. Look for the section of a store that's eco-friendly. Not everything's going to be super clean in there, but most of it will have taken out parabens and synthetic fragrance. And so you'll find some really clean products and some ultra clean products in these aisles. Sephora also has a clean beauty seal, like a section of clean beauty that they've scrutinized. And I think they've done a pretty good job. There's like one or two little things where I'm like, well, maybe that wouldn't be my choice to allow that. But it's a great place to start. And most people could end there, most people. Depends on who you are and your values and what you're aiming for, what your goals are with your beauty routine and sustainability and, your allergies and health, whatever your health condition is at the time.
I love that you have this philosophy, and in your book you talk about it too. There's at least a whole chapter, if not more than that, about getting started. And I love how you kind of seem to share this kind of logical process of figuring out what your personal what's the word I'm looking for? Your personal
values or
values, parameters. That's the word I'm looking for.
What you will and won't allow
parameters.
for.
Yes, yeah. So figuring out your own kind of personal parameters and understanding how it will impact your health. And then, listening to you now, it's kind of take that and put it into finding brands that you feel like, okay, yes, I know I can trust this brand, so I can just keep going back to this brand.
Right.
And I love that philosophy, and I love how you really look at it as every person is going to have a different formula and something different that works for them. And I think that, I've heard you talk a lot about how your skincare routine and your beauty is just like a diet. And I think when we think about our food diet, that is very unique to each of us. What works for one person doesn't work for the next person. And same thing with beauty, it seems to be what you say.
It's true. It's exactly how I feel about it. I think I mentioned before, some people will be allergic to certain things. Some people won't be. Some people have autoimmune diseases and want to be more cautious about certain things, especially maybe petrochemicals or other things, synthetics, dyes. And others will really align more with the values of sustainability, perhaps, or be fine with one brand allowing some synthetic colorants to have prettier beauty products. Mm-hmm. And it's just whatever works for you, because if it doesn't work for you, you're not going to use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. You're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to sustainably stick with it if you don't love it.
Yeah. And a lot of people, now I'm not super sensitive, but some people are, a lot of companies have taken, I think I mentioned oxybismuth out. It's a mineral. And people have allergies because skin rashes, but it's natural. Again, same with lavender and tea tree. A lot of people have allergies and sensitivities to those. So those might not be the best products, like super all natural, for people who have really bad allergies to certain things. So it's just, you really have to find, a lot of people really don't want aluminum in their deodorant. I would rather have aluminum than parabens. Having said that, parabens are probably one of the most benign of the chemicals that you'd want to take out, but they're in so many products, about 99% of products, traditional products, that you get a large, dose of them. You get more than the recommended daily quantity or whatever. So if it's, if this is in one product, and if it's in 99% of products rather, and you're using 12 products a morning, you're already getting fat in every single product. So it's cumulative. So that's really the problem with parabens. And they are estrogenic. They're endocrine disruptors. That's what they've been linked to. And so, but I care more about that than aluminum. I don't have a heavy metal toxicity in my body that I know of. And I like it in my deodorant. And deodorants don't work for me.
Deodorant is a really tough one. Mm-hmm. And I know myself, and pretty much everyone I know goes through, we've probably tried at least 10 different brands trying to find something that works. I currently am using Beauty by Earth, and I've been using it for at least a year successfully. So I'm pretty excited about that. But what do people need to look for in deodorant? So the reason that it kind of gets a bad rap and people are worried, is that because of the aluminum or because of the parabens? It's because of the aluminum.
It's both, but people are far more concerned with the aluminum.
Okay.
Research and studies have showed that when women search, they're searching for aluminum free when they want natural deodorant. And I would be the other way around. I'd be, give me the aluminum to please take out the parabens, but you won't find that ever. I've never seen a deodorant that's like We still use aluminum, but no petrochemicals, which is what I would love.
Okay.
No parabens, no petrochemicals. So, and that's the other thing. Even if you took out aluminum and parabens in most traditional deodorants, you're still going to have petrochemicals in there and fragrance. So the whole thing is like, it needs to be overhauled. And lots of people have done it very well and successfully. And there are so many great natural deodorants. I love Freedom deodorants, and Ursa Major.
Okay.
They have a great deodorant, but and there's been so many, but I'm like, I don't know if it's like, I've tried, some have apricot oil, or most of them have baking soda, and that makes me itch. No one wants to walk around scratching their underarms all day. And that makes me itch. And I find that aluminum is somehow soothing.
Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like, so for your body, it seems to work. And is aluminum, is it tied to breast cancer? Because I know, like, I looked at changing deodorants so many years ago. I don't even remember why I did it besides, but I think it was because it's linked to breast cancer, maybe.
Yeah, breast cancer and just heavy metal toxicity, perhaps. Yeah, but I think it's both of those. And they were trying to link parabens to breast cancer, but it's never been proven. But they are endocrine disruptors. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, that's the big thing with aluminum. I think it has been, I'm not 100%, to be honest, because it's never been a huge concern of mine. But I know that, people who have heavy metal toxicities want to stay away from aluminum, and that's obvious. Mm-hmm. And that's a no-brainer. You just need to. Mm-hmm. And I have a friend who had mercury toxicity.
Okay.
And so, and it was awful. It's hard to redo that, like to get that out of your system.
Okay.
It's a lot of work, and it's really, really hard. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, breast cancer, I'm not 100% sure about, but it kind of sounds familiar and likely. Mm-hmm. But that is the biggest concern, I think, for most people.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. Now, I would love, and I may one day if someone doesn't do before me, I like silver, and I've used colloidal silver in skincare products for acne years ago. Okay. And I'm always wondering why someone doesn't come out with that. And I feel like if it would, I feel like it would do the same thing as aluminum. It would kill bacteria.
Interesting.